Yeah, nah man, you know we gotta do a joint for the ladies, right? So every club worldwide, we gonna move y'all like this. Come on, bounce, bounce, bounce. Hey girl, hey girl, hey girl, hey girl, hey girl. It's Friday night when the club lines be out the door. Watch the silly.
Okay, here we are, the last segment before we close the book on our 2018 launch of Morning Coffee. Hey, you know, we're playing catch up on a lot of subjects that you guys have already entertained that was already in the news throughout the holidays. One is going to be ongoing because I just felt that it's my duty to either highlight, make a focus point of it, or just reference what's going on, is the Me Too movement. It's not new for many of you guys. You already know what it's about. What's happening is now is the splintering off of factions that may or may not be what they would say taking a stance on their position of what it means for so many people who have been victims of violence and or abuse. So I decided to say, hey, you know, I need to have something here where I just highlight this is what's happening. So this is not a discussion about what people should do, because it's not my position to speak for someone who's been in that position. So I decided to go focus on the female celebrities and others against the Me Too, I guess, movement. Includes French author, curator Catherine Millet's Crazy Regrets. Now, I titled it that way first because that's what we're going to get to. It's the part where this has gone all the way to the other side. Now, on the other side, just to give you kind of the wrap on this, everybody knows that there has been an evolution that starts with what we call the originator, Tarana Burke, who started Me Too as an organization in 2007. Problem was the hashtagging wasn't there. Nobody could actually spin it. It didn't have the flashpoint. It didn't have the movement. But Tarana Burke is the one who basically said, this particular organization was a campaign turned into social media. So the history has now caught up with the evolution, which we credit, or they have credited, Alyssa Milano with being the one who energized it. So whatever the person or the energy is, I wanted to bring both faces because I believe you have to have a lot of people who are recognized for bringing it to the table of awareness. So with that being said, Tarana Burke, give you a lot of props. You stayed with it. The organization was there. You are already representing those who were abused or suffered through the hands of violence, molestation, or sexual abuse, all included. Now, with that being recognized, I want to give you the opposing side. This is the opposing side. The opposing side. So let me just read this so you guys can follow along. A recent publication in a French newspaper, Le Monde, of an open letter by female writers and actors in defense of men's right to pick up women has left many people bemused. The letter, signed by 100 women, including celebrated French actress Catherine Deneuve, said that the Me Too movement had gone too far and that it chains women to the status of eternal victim. So what we're going to do is show you the people and the stance they're having. This is not a rating.
Yeah.
It's not a rating. It's their position, and there's always an additive to that.
Again, this is what I meant by the pendulum, Vic.
Yes.
When I was making the point about the pendulum, historically what happens is the pendulum swings far to the right or to the left.
It's
so
always.
You go to the extreme moments, then you come back to stuff. And so this is not an attack on the Me Too movement.
No.
It's an acknowledgement that every movement undergoes this type of maturation and change.
Right. And I'm not the one here to determine what the value of what somebody's expression is. I'm here just to say, here's what they're saying on another side. That's it. And you guys can have your position there, because I just don't know enough, and I don't rely totally on media to define the correctness or not the correctness of what I'm indulging as content to believe or not believe. So let me show you the first person. Let's go to Catherine Deneuve. Okay, I'm just going to sit back and say, now, That's Catherine as you see her today. She is like, I would say this, really known. When I say in French circles, really known. So her position has been one where you actually go, all right, okay. She's part of that group that signed that letter and that public letter blaming the Me Too anti-harassment movements for creating let's just say a climate that unfairly punishes men for flirting consistently or clumsily.
One has to see, that's the problem. We have to define harassment, right? You have to define what harassment is.
Who should define
just
it?
Hitting on a girl harassment. See, it has to be defined, and that's the problem today.
Listen to what you're saying. Is there a group who's going to say, I want that kind of treatment, I'm that kind? Now, let me just say...
That's why that exists.
Now, I am not endorsing it, so please, you guys, do not hit me
all
with this
women
stuff.
don't agree. See,
I'm just saying.
So, again, all women do not agree on the definition of harassment.
Right. I'm not saying, listen.
Just like black folks don't agree on the definition of racism.
Here's my thing. I'm staying with the people who have been victims. So when other people come in and say, well, let me tell you how I feel. I said, oh, so Catherine, you probably come from the world where you go like, I'm very comfortable with that type of treatment, but we don't know. I'm just telling you, this is what she said. So you want to see a younger picture of Catherine? This is the back in the day picture when she was the hot actress back in the day. So she comes from a place of her comfort zone. Unfortunately, you need to see her speak out more and really kind of give you more details about her personal philosophy instead of giving the opinions of others. Tell us what your personal philosophy is as it relates to you and what happened with you. Say it on video. Don't sit up here and type it in and then go after a group. I'd rather hear you say why it's cool for that stuff. But you ain't gonna say that, right? Because you may be defining yourself a different way.
She's French and
yes,
they're known, right, for speaking their mind.
I agree.
Okay.
All right, let's go to the next. All right, now we always have to find someone. MC Lyte had her moment. Hip-hop artist, actress, author, and activist. Sexual harassment or flirting, probably determined by whether she liked him. Some of y'all flirt on Monday to get what you want, then she flirts back on Friday and you mad. That's how she hit until she got some pushback. And when she got some pushback, after getting a lot of pushback, the legendary rapper has backtracked on her comments criticizing the Me Too movement. In other words, sometimes you sit up there thinking you're representing everybody who feels the way you do, but you're literally are giving them one dimension of what you think they are. So she put everybody in a box that this is what you're doing. You're all mad because y'all were flirting. Oh my God, you're talking about, I'm sorry, big misstep. Just want to let you know that she has come back and apologized. But her first thought and sentiments, go on Mario, I see your face.
I was just thinking of people that I know. It's going to be so different. Again, that's the problem. And that's why you need to have these definitions.
Right. I understand. I just want to let you guys know we're going to keep going. Here's the next. More present day, because I always say, you have to deal with voices not of the past in the industry, but also of the present. And as we go over to, and I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly, I would say Letitia Casta. She's a model, big time. Model actress Casta is the latest French celebrity to join the backlash against the Me Too movement. She claims it turns women into victims and says she wants nothing to do with it. She's just taking a hardcore stance, period. Nothing. She says just victims.
Different, things being different again. Different cultures too.
Amen.
Different cultures,
Man.
and things are different in different places. Even though women embrace, I totally expect this because I think it has to be defined, and it's not defined.
Do you think when they make these statements, insensitive to the victims? The victims now.
I think people take those point of views because I think if you don't offer support then they're going to call that. Again, that's part of this. That's part of working our way through this issue.
Right.
So this is going to happen. I mostly say I expect these kind of disagreements. They're inevitable, and that it'll end up being somewhere in the middle.
I think the hard part is that when they put one opinion to brushstroke everyone. I think
what I'm saying.
They should literally go, first let me say this about the victims, because they don't fit in the box that you're pointing them to.
Well, again, part of the issue too is that you're reading points where they're pulling pieces out.
Right.
So they're being paraphrased.
I know.
You don't. So
really
you never know what the context of their quotes are, and that's.
I know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because for all we know, they may have said a bunch of that. You just wouldn't know.
Right. Absolutely. We're all subject to that. The same. Okay. Gonna take you to the next one. You know, you always have to sit back and keep it fresh and moving. Gonna go to Stacey Schroeder, an actress. Let me read a little bit about Stacey. Stacey was on the receiving end of a major backlash after she allegedly criticized the Me Too campaign for controversial comments. The Vanderpump Rules star, 29, spoke about the victims of Hollywood sexual misconduct scandal on her Straight Up with Stacey podcast, and some of her listeners were outraged what they perceived to be insensitive views. The episode titled, Are We on a Male Witch Hunt?, has since been deleted. She said, it's never my intention to go and do a podcast that offends anyone or really hurts them. So I was very surprised. So all I can do is apologize and just try to be more mindful and be better moving forward. So, you know, there's always the lawyers who do wonderful writing when your ass is getting sponsors. They're cutting the sponsors because that's what's happened. Save the money, then come back to Jesus. Not that you're religious.
That's the problem, right?
Right.
See, if you're having a party and while drinking and dancing, you stand around 5 or 6 women and make jokes about your penis.
Yeah.
Is that sexual harassment? See, that's the problem. Some folks might say yeah, and other folks might say no. And I'm going like, when you went to the party, you knew what kind of persons half the time.
Right.
Some people make sexual jokes. And so are sexual jokes harassment? They can be in certain settings, obviously. But then again, this is the problem, Vic.
I'll ask this question.
This is the problem.
Here's the question. In my professional career, don't base it on me. You guys have your own life. Don't use me as the barometer. I have not found the motivation to go conduct myself in a sexual conversation around the men's table, nor the women's employees or associates. So I'm really more questioning, why are you having the conversations there in the first place? So
because you like to joke about your dick.
No. You're talking about the people who like to have those conversations.
Well, I'm saying at the parties.
Yeah. No. I'm talking about professionally. We're talking about people who are being.
No, none of these things. But that's why I defined it. I said, right. If you're at a party.
Oh, that's different.
And that's what I said. And you're around a bunch of your party. You guys are drinking and dancing.
Right.
These are the situations that are going. See, what happens is, remember.
Right.
The ones that are the more difficult are when they're not. If it's in the office place, let's agree you should tread very lightly.
Right.
But the ones that are different are when you're out of the office place at a gathering or an event where everybody's socializing.
Right.
That's a gray area that needs because Vic, in that setting.
I've been out in social, and I have not found myself being in corporate and in social, because they always have events and all have these external stuff. I still haven't found myself saying, let me engage in these conversations.
No, but we had pajama parties, and by definition,
we're not corporate.
There are some people will be indicting us. You had
no.
Our argument would be we had male and female contestants.
All right, you guys, I'm not joking about that, and the corporate doesn't define it.
Bad
behavior is bad behavior.
We did penis stories.
I didn't talk about it.
There's pictures out there in an expose about penis size.
That was a show called Virtually Uncut.
There's a whole special of pictures of expose.
And our co-workers could sit back and say they were always professional. All right, let's go to the last one. Here's the one that I want you to find. Maybe lesser known, but Catherine Millet is a French writer, art critic, curator.
Was there something that they're all French?
The French is the big movement. That the open letter is what has gotten the backlash attention.
Remember, because I think culture has a lot to do with it.
Oh yes, I know it does. But this is, we're global now. The internet is going. Geography doesn't make any difference.
Their conflicts on sex and sexism manifest differently in France.
Okay. Well, I want to get you guys to
their race manifests differently.
Well, yes, and here's the part where I said you guys are about to hear a story where I said some people have regrets. Well, let's find out what they regret for Catherine. Catherine Millette, the author of the best-selling The Sexual Life of Catherine M., said women should just shout at men who harass them. First, just shout. Okay, second, Catherine Millette, author of a best-selling memoir and one of the movers behind the open letter by female writers and actors in defense of men's right to pick up women, has left many people bemused. Catherine herself hit back, claiming the campaign to counter sexual harassment was casting women as victims and the fragile prey of men. On December 2017, during an interview on the French radio France Culture, she claimed, "I really regret not having been raped because I could show this is how you recover from it." So she regrets. I would see your face. That's the big regret.
It's a misstatement. Hey.
That's on her bio. That's on multiple stories.
The problem with all of these things is that they blend the issues. Why does the issue have to be defined? The Me Too movement. It doesn't. I don't take it as being anti-male. I don't take it as that.
I don't get it.
I don't take it as being anti-hitting on women. But again, I will state it for the record. I think it is wonderful that we as a society are forced to examine these issues and have the discussion.
I believe
it's wonderful to have the discussion.
Look, I had to read this. I said, let me go look at 3 or 4 sources just to make sure it's on Wikipedia, it's on her stuff. She is known. And let me just say this, you guys. Let me just say this. I know you would like to know this. This has no bearing on it. But ask me how many of these women enjoy posing in the nude. That's
They're
all
French.
I'm just saying.
They are French.
I am not putting it. That has nothing to do with the story. I'm just saying.
They are French women and they feel their liberation differently. It's not. They're not United States women.
Well, you check that woman and she says, "I have regrets."
Go to France.
She has regrets.
Get you a woman.
Rape so she can show you how to get over it.
She's not gonna take no shit.
Oh my God. I'm done, man. I'm done. No rating on this one. I'm out. Oh man, I had to read that 5 times, man. 5 times.
Yeah. Nah, man. You know we gotta do a joint for the ladies, right? So every club worldwide, we gonna move y'all like this. Come on. Down, down, down. Hey girl. Hey girl. Hey girl. Hey girl. Hey girl. It's Friday night when the club lines be out the door. Watch the silly